Hey guys, this is a game that I'm super excited about. It's called the Riftbreaker, and even though it's still in development, you will be able to play a demo on June 9th. This is the next game from Exor Studios, a Polish developer which I discovered after playing their previous game, which is called Exor Defense. Exmorph is a really cool game and kind of a hidden gem for the Switch especially, which switches between being a tower defense game and a shoot 'em up. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it, and I believe it's on sale right now on Good Old Games, and it's also available on PS4, Xbox, and of course the Switch. Riftbreaker, in a way, is very similar. You are again in control of a single unit. This time a giant robot called Mr. Riggs that you'll be using for building, exploring, and defending. The game is basically a survival RTS that right off the bat removes something that I've never really enjoyed about the genre, which is micromanaging. There are no units, no squads, nothing that you can control except for your mech. So you only need to focus on pretty much one thing, which to me, it makes the game way more fun since you're always front and center to everything that's going on. You can't build without Mr. Riggs or have him explore on his own while you do other stuff, and you can't really defend without him either. Now, before going on, I want to mention that I'm part of the preview program for this game, and I have been involved with stuff like bug reporting and feedback, so I've been actively involved with the devs and the development of the game. I actually covered the preview build on a video back in November when they first gave it to me, but there have been a lot of changes made to the game since then, many of which you will get to see in the demo. The basics are as follows. You are exploring an alien planet and you need to set up a base in order to survive massive waves of enemy creatures. And I really do mean massive amounts of enemies. Just take a look at this mess. These guys will quickly destroy your base unless you have some cool weapons and you've set up a vast amount of defenses. This means mining resources to build up walls, setting up defensive towers, and managing energy production to keep everything running. There's also research centers that you will need to build to be able to access more advanced buildings and weaponry for your mech. Now, what has me super excited about this game is that over the past few months, they've kind of taken everything that is fun about it and just gone nuts with it. They previously had a variety of different weapons like a flamethrower, a minigun, a sniper rifle, a railgun, which are, cool in and of themselves, but now they've added mods, so you can add more damage, increase the amount of enemies that the bullets go through, add homing capabilities, and do all sorts of different stuff, which, it wasn't really necessary, to be honest. Like, most games don't go that far. There were already a lot of different weapons which felt pretty different from one another, but now you can basically mix and match different mods to create your own variation, which is really, really interesting. Same goes for buildings. There used to be only two ways to generate power: wind and solar. Now there's geothermal, carbon, biomass, and biofuel generators, and a ton more. There's weather effects like rain, which will decrease how much power solar panels produce, which is actually, it's a very cool variation on what are traditionally static maps that RTSs tend to have. Now, I'm not a huge RTS guy by any means, so there might be other RTS games with similar ideas, but they really have gone absolutely nuts with this stuff. There's strong winds, which will cause your wind turbines to generate more power, acid rain, which damages all your buildings, tornadoes, meteor showers, and all sorts of different things. I don't know if all of this will make it to the final game, but I just want to stress how much variety, how many cool interactions, and just plain old fun there is in this game. There's also a ton of different biomes which can be more or less hostile, so there are a lot of different possible scenarios and loadouts that you can try out, which I think is really cool. I don't have any details on what the campaign will be like, but it will be interesting to see how creative they can get with all of this, because they really have a lot to work with here. Now, all that said, if the core gameplay wasn't fun and well done, all of this would go to waste, but thankfully that is not the case. Moving around in the mech feels really good. There's a weight to his movement, weapons feel powerful and fun. The railgun, for example, it's just so much fun to line up shots and take down dozens of heavy units. It's incredible, and slashing enemies with your sword never gets old. Building is fun and intuitive. There are no workers or NPCs gathering resources or stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about placing a building in the exact best position that minimizes the amount of travel that they need to do, or build your walls just the right way to get the most out of your resources. You can also repair and destroy structures very easily, and if you make a mistake, you get all your resources back. So if you need to delete something to place it somewhere else, there is literally no penalty for doing so, which I really appreciate. In addition to the waves of enemies that you need to fight off, you also need to explore the map to find resources and to clear stuff out, like nests and even enemy bosses, which would otherwise increase the size and the intensity of the next wave of enemies. All of this means that you're constantly expanding, mining, building, exploring, upgrading, getting new weapons, new mods, fighting, teleporting your way through the map. It's pretty cool. If you're a streamer, there is also a voting system in place which allows your audience to trigger events on your game, like a larger upcoming attack or a tornado that follows you around and stuff like that, that makes it a really fun game to stream. Now, you know, if this were developed by another studio, maybe it would be like super hard or less forgiving. Maybe cool stuff like teleporting wouldn't be in the game because you can potentially spam it to get out of danger or use it to kite enemies. Or resources would be much more constrained because they want you to play a certain way. Again, I don't know what the end product will end up looking like, but right now, and based on what Xmorph was like, I think I can confidently say that first of all, before even talking about this being an RTS or a survival game or whatever, this is a fun game. That seems to be the core focus. The focus isn't difficulty or a grand vision on planetary exploration or economy simulation or stuff like that. You're a giant mech with a giant sword and a customizable arsenal of flamethrowers and nuclear rocket launchers, and that feels and plays as cool and as entertaining as you think it would. So keep an eye out for this one. No word on pricing or release date so far, but if you want to give it a try, you will have your chance on June 9th. And if you want to check out more of the game to see what you think of it, I suggest joining the developers Discord or checking their streams on Mixer and Twitch, to which I will leave a link below down in the comments. They live stream twice a week to show new features and stuff, so definitely take a look if you're interested. Alright guys, that will be all for now. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, drop a like or leave your comment and subscribe if you loved it. Let me know down in the comments if there are any other RTS games that you enjoy playing, or if you tried Xmorph Defense after watching this video and what you thought about it. Okay, once again, thanks for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one.